Welcome back, everyone. Thanks to our Youth Coalition for sharing their exciting adventures in Washington, D.C. We can't wait to see what you guys are up to next in the community. So joining me now is Kerri Heegeman from Addiction Medical Solutions in Wisconsin. She's the executive director at the Oshkosh location.
Yes.
So thank you for joining me here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so can you tell me and the viewers and listeners a little bit about Addiction Medical Solutions, or AMS?
Sure. We're a medication-assisted treatment program. We treat opiate addiction primarily. All our counselors are certified, so technically, we could treat other addictions. It's primarily opiate addiction here in Oshkosh. What we do is we combine medication to help with withdrawals and cravings, along with group and individual counseling. The key is the counseling.
So, and what, excuse me, and what's your connection then to Winnebago County Heroin Task Force?
The Winnebago County Heroin Task Force, the harm reduction pillar, reached out to the president of our company, Mr. Michael Erico, and I think it was the fall or winter of 2014. They saw a need for a methadone clinic here in Winnebago County. So they gave him a call. He flew here from the East Coast. He has 4 other clinics, a couple on the East Coast, one in Florida, and then there is one other one in Onalaska, Wisconsin. He flew here, they toured the Onalaska clinic, and it's history from there. You know, we remodeled a building here in Oshkosh, and we opened October 12th of 2015. We currently have 150 patients and growing.
Okay.
So we're doing really well.
Awesome. So that's definitely, so that was another thing that was born kind of out of the Heroin Task Force, and
Yes.
community saw a need
Yes.
and
Yes.
figured out a solution to that
Yes.
need.
Huge resource. Yes. Yes.
So how did the group make that happen here in Oshkosh? I know you mentioned you know there's a building and you know renovated it and that kind of a thing. So kind of walk us through that process of getting the clinic here.
Okay. Well, like I said, they toured the Onalaska clinic, and then from there, you know, a decision was made by our president that he would open the clinic here. So it took most of the summer to go through. There's a lot of regulation involved in medication-assisted treatment, obviously because of the medications that we use. So it took some time. We did it all right with remodeling the building. It's a great setup. It's a beautiful building, and it took some time through the summer to go through the inspections with the state, the DEA, the security involved, but we were up and running by October.
In government terms, that's pretty fast, actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, it is. It is. So.
And do you think that this would have happened here in Oshkosh had the community not come together through the task force and recognize this?
Absolutely not. And I say that with, you know, there's still a stigma involved with medication-assisted treatment. So it is a very unique situation that happened with our community. I'm part of this community, with our community, and our problem that we have with heroin and opiate addiction, that, you know, so many community members came together and formed this heroin task force. And the things that they have done, you know, it's unique. It's an exception to what is going on with most of the rest of the country. And the warm welcome that we got when we opened in this community was amazing. I think, you know, in the first couple of weeks, we had the Heroin Task Force meeting at our clinic, and I bet 50 people showed up.
Oh, wow.
And there's not that many people on the harm reduction pillar, but about 50 showed up to tour and welcome us, and it was great.
Awesome. So tell me a little bit more about, you know, on a positive note, kind of what are some of the things that a clinic like this can do for those that suffer from addiction?
Okay. Well, what we're attempting to do is, you know, get them stabilized on the medications. In here in Oshkosh, we have methadone and another medication, buprenorphine, available for withdrawals and cravings. They're given a daily dose of the medication at a therapeutic level.
Okay.
it'll last 24 to 36 hours.
So then they come back every day?
They come back every day until they're stabilized,
Okay.
and they meet the Wisconsin state. There's a 6-point criteria for take-home medications. There's a
Okay.
phase system. After 90 days, they're eligible to get 1 take-home if they meet that criteria. And it moves on from there till, in the first, I'd say 9 months to a year, they can come in once a week, get their medication. And I guess the main goal for us is, we want to decrease the mortality rate. We want to decrease their discomfort and pain that goes along with the withdrawals and cravings, and increase their functioning, their normal functioning. I've been in this field about 25 years. I've been in medication-assisted treatment about 15 now, and as far as the medications, and I'm talking about primarily methadone, I've seen work very significantly with heavy heroin users with a high tolerance. They do really well with going to work, taking care of their kids. They're able to do the things that you and I are able to do when they're stabilized on the medication, and learn some coping skills through the counseling, both individual and group counseling.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about the counseling. Can you talk a little bit more about how, coupled with the medication therapy, how great that can be?
Yeah, it can be
I'm
great.
assuming.
Yeah, it can be. Because, if you take away the cravings and withdrawals, and they're able to think and process and learn some coping skills through both individual counseling and group counseling, it's a whole new ballgame for them. It's like a rebirth almost. Group counseling is really effective because they don't feel so alone. They're connecting with people that have some of the same issues, and they're able to help each other. And it relieves a lot of the shame and guilt. I'm not alone. So the counseling is key, I think, with treating opiate addiction.
Gotcha. So so those are some of the positives. So are there any challenges to running assisted medical therapy?
There's some challenges with, I think the biggest challenge is the stigma in the community. That's why I've talked about, what the welcome here and what went on with Winnebago County is pretty unique.
Okay.
Because I would say the stigma of, first of all, being an addict, and second of all, needing medication, unfortunately is still there. So, and the other thing I think is just access to care, as far as, once again, over the years, the same issue comes up over and over, money.
Yeah.
So, I think it's gotten much better, both issues, but we have work to do.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that brings me to the next question, kind of what's on the horizon for the clinic here in Oshkosh? How's it going, and kind of where do we see ourselves with the Heroin Task Force and AMS in the next 6 months, a year, kind of thing?
First of all, we are part of this community, and we want to continue to be part of this community. We want to continue to be a resource for this community, and partner with Heroin Task Force, law enforcement, probation and parole, medical, the hospitals, the doctors, which we have started to do. We're doing well. We're growing. We're growing significantly in the last month or so, and we want to continue to treat addiction and hopefully continue to decrease that mortality rate, which is the bottom line here. This is a life and death situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming in today and sharing all the great work that AMS in Oshkosh is doing to make real change. Real changes happen here for real people in their lives in Oshkosh and in Winnebago County. So, thank you so much for all your work for heroin addiction and prevention and treatment. So
thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So, all right, and that's all we've got for our show today. So we hope you learned a lot and maybe had an additional aha moment. So don't forget, you can always connect with Rethink on our website, rethinkwinnebago.org. All of our links to our social media are up there as well. We're on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, and we also have a blog. And those are all available up on our website. So until next time, we'll be creating a community that makes the healthy choice the easy choice, and we hope you will be too.